Don't analyze your woman. Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Dim. Welcome back to our series on this incredible book, The Way of the Superior Man. If you've not seen our previous episodes, in this series, we're doing a chapter by chapter read through of this book and doing a little discourse, a little discussion at the end, so you can apply the beautiful wisdom that's in this book into your own life. So, The Way of the Superior Man, a spiritual guide to mastering the challenges of women, work, and sexual desire by David Deida. We've got an awesome chapter coming up today. And I dare say you'll find incredible value, life-changing value, not just in this chapter, but in the discourse as well, in terms of implementing it. Because when you can understand this, you truly do up level in your conduct in relationships. I would definitely attest to. So, chapter 19, Don't Analyze Your Woman. The feminine's moods and opinions are like weather patterns. They are constantly changing, severe and gentle, and they have no single source. No analysis will work. There is no linear chain of cause and effect that can lead to the kernel of the problem. There is no problem, only a storm, a breeze, a sudden change in weather, and the basis of these storms are the high and low pressure systems of love. When a woman feels love flowing deeply, her mood can instantly evaporate into joy, regardless of the supposed reason for the mood. As a man, you probably want to find the cause for the problems in your life. That way, you can eliminate the source of the problem. By getting to its root, you can solve the problem, hopefully once and for all. And so, when your woman seems to have an emotional problem, you want to know why. You want to know what is upsetting her. You assume there is a specific cause. You want to know what triggered her bad mood so you can fix the situation. Because you love her, you begin to ask her questions to get to the root cause of the problem. What's wrong? Did I do something to upset you? What are you crying about? Are you about to start your period? Did someone say something horrible to you? You are under the illusion that when you find out the cause of this affliction, then the cure will easily follow. But it doesn't work that way. And your questioning is probably making her mood worse. The amazing thing is, 90% of a woman's emotional problems stem from feeling unloved. So don't stand back and analyze her like a doctor analyzing a patient or like a therapist questioning a client. Give her your love, the same love that is motivating your questioning, immediately and unmistakably. Walk over to her, look deeply into her eyes, hold her, stroke her, tell her how much you love her, smile, hum her favorite song and dance with her, and chances are her emotional problem will evaporate. I'll say something about this in the discussion. She may still have some situation to deal with, and you may be able to help her with that, but the emotional aspect will be converted into love. It is a very rare occasion when your analysis of her mood relieves her of it. Most often, your analysis and attempts to fix her will just piss her off more. Ask her if she would rather you give her love or analyze her when she is upset. It is so easy to give her love. It is what both of you really want anyway. But as a man, you are more likely to try and fix her. That's exactly not what she wants, and exactly what will make the situation worse most of the time. The next time your woman is in a bad mood, try this. Assume she's not feeling loved. Simply assume it, even if it seems that it can't be that simple, and that there must be some underlying reason for her upsetness, a reason that you could fix. Assume she is more like a flower that needs watering than an engine that needs a new carburetor adjustment. Don't assume anything is wrong at all. Assume she just wants love from you in a deep, strong, steady, and sensitive way. Look into her eyes with love. Touch her how she likes to be touched with love. and speak or sing to her with love. Discover what happens to her mood. Then, after her mood has been dissolved by your loving and she's happy and relaxed, you can talk about anything that still needs to be talked about. If you ever find yourself asking your woman questions about her mood while she's still in it, you are already on the wrong road. First, give her love through your eyes, touch, movement, and tone of voice. Then and only then, after the connection of love has been made, find out what remains to be talked about. So that was chapter 19. We've got some great chapters coming up. Next episode, chapter 20, don't suggest that a woman fix her own emotional problems. So there's a great set of chapters coming up, and even in the previous chapters on relationships specifically. But in terms of the discourse for this chapter, I'm going to explain it through two scenarios. I think that's even better than it'll help you understand it better than me just trying to explain concepts like he does here. So this is a true story. When I was in my early phases of building my business, I launched this seminar, and we were absolutely super broke, super poor. It was very difficult, traumatic time where the fridge was empty, the cupboards were empty, and we really had no money. And we were like, I was trying every day, messaging people every day, and I had put together this seminar which I truly believed was about $1,000 worth of value, and I was trying to give away the ticket for $97. And I was messaging people every day, and I was it was just getting left on red. No one was getting back to me, or people were just saying, no, I can't make it, or most of the time people just ignored the messages. And as you can imagine, if you're dirt broke, if you don't have any money and you're trying to sell these tickets, and 2 to 3 weeks go by, you can imagine you get incredibly depleted. It's like it breaks you, especially if you think that this is what you're born to do and destined to do, and you've left your corporate job to do this, and here you are now dead broke trying to sell these tickets, and it's just not working out for you. And I had a moment where the person that I was with at the time, she came to me and said, hey, how did your ticket sales go today? And then I was just doing everything I could to keep it positive. And I said, oh, look, these two people said that they were interested, and then she goes, oh, okay, did they actually buy the ticket though? And then I said, well, no, that they haven't bought the ticket yet, and then she said, well, look, that's not actually a sale then, is it? And then I said, well, I guess not. And then I just burst out crying. And at that moment, she was there, but she was just like looking at me, and I think she didn't know what to do, and she was looking at me, and then she tried to suggest solutions to try and fix the problem. She said, oh, maybe you can talk to these people, or maybe you can do it here, or maybe you can do it there, or whatever. But for me, in that moment of deep hurt and overwhelming emotion, just like it, I had been working so long, keeping that emotion at bay, just trying to keep it positive, trying to do the right thing. I just needed a moment of like release, to like, I don't know what you think of me as someone who said he needed a moment of crying, but I dare say that there's been times where maybe you could use a good cry too, so hopefully you don't judge me for it. But for me, I just needed to release. I needed a good cry. I needed to just heal and be nurtured, and I think, man to man, you don't want to say you ever need a hug. I think we never really need a hug. You never really want to ever need something. But a good nurturing hug and a hand on your shoulder, and a hand to squeeze your hand and say, hey, listen, it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. You're doing great. It's going to be all right. That would have been nice, right? But I didn't get that in that moment. Instead, she was, God bless her, there was no bad intention whatsoever. She was just trying to fix the problem. She was trying to say, do this or do that, or like, why don't you talk to this person? And for me, because it was so difficult, I was not ready. I just was not, it's not that I really needed help. Like I was living and breathing this stuff. I could figure out the actual resolution by myself, actually. I didn't need help with the resolution. I just needed actually help from, I guess, that emotional side, from that just nurturing side, and just to be told that it's going to be all right, and you're doing great. It's going to be all right. I needed some nurturing and my cup to be refilled. And it took that moment when I believe I was 29 or 30 years old, when I realized what the fuck this chapter was actually about. And then I realized, wow, in that moment, I didn't need my problem to be fixed. I needed a moment of emotional relief. And that is what he's saying here. If your woman is primarily a more feminine woman, meaning that she has a much higher temperament of emotions than you do, if you're a more masculine male, then that experience that I just relayed to you, she would have many experiences like that, where her emotions are brimming up a lot more than yours typically do, and mine typically do. And in those moments, to have someone come in and try to fix it, it's just kind of like missing the point, dude. Often at times she's smart enough to fix the problem by herself, and she'll probably ask you if she needs your specific help fixing the problem. But what she's coming to you for is the nurturing, the healing of that safe masculine space, which is centered, which is steady, which is present, which is loving, which is there, which just by its nature of being steady communicates to her that, hey, you're safe and everything's going to be all right, and I'm going to give you one more example. But if you were to put yourself in the situation that I just described, can you see that in that moment you just needed someone to just be there and say, hey, you're doing great, like everything's going to be all right, it's going to work out? Can you see that just something like that is so much more healing and nurturing and empowering and useful than going, let me try and fix this problem. Right? See, this is why we typically undervalue, especially our society currently, culturally, undervalues femininity. It undervalues the true gifts of femininity, which is nurturing. And in that moment, that's what I needed. I needed nurturing. And that's what he's trying to tell you to do here. Just, it's not so much participating in the drama. It's not so much fueling the problems or not trying to solve them. It's completely another dimension that he's talking about, which is actually not a better dimension, just a parallel dimension, which is equally important, which is actually, hey, before you jump in with your hammer to try and fix this fucking problem, like, realize that there's you're also helping it fix by creating the space for those emotions to be released, so the space can be created in someone's mind to actually to rejuvenate enough to have a practical discussion about how to fix it. But the fixing is like almost the second step. The first step is almost that emotional release and emotional safety and just the thank you. That's what you're going for. That's what he's trying to communicate to you in this chapter. You want to give her that moment where she can go, and then she can rest. And then she rejuvenates. And then and then she'll probably be smart enough to fix her own problem. And then if she needs help, she'll ask you. Got it? So I'll give you one more example because I want you to master this point. So I've given you one which is more of a, I guess, a serious, a bit more like of a healing one. I want to give you a more fun one now. So once I was with my girlfriend at the time, and I was driving home from somewhere, and she calls me, and she's supposed to meet me at a certain time somewhere. And she calls me to say that, effectively, that she's running late, which I don't mind because she's doing the right thing by calling me ahead of time to let me know, as opposed to her just not communicating and then just being late and leaving me waiting. So I didn't have an issue that she called me up then. And she called me up and she said, oh, this is what happened. I was at the hairdresser and then they cut my hair like this and now I'm having a bad hair day and this is and she was just in the massive feminine drama, right? And if I, in that moment, so really try to put yourself in this situation, she calls you and she's like, this is what happened. I went to this hairdresser and then my normal hairdresser wasn't available. And so I went to this other bitch and then that bitch cut my hair and now it's all short and I look shit. And right? If in that moment you're like, oh, that's why I never go to the same never go to a hairdresser that I don't trust. You have to make a booking. You have to book it in advance. It's just, you're missing the point if you do that, right? It's like she's kind of giving you this. It's almost a joke. It's like just this fun, lighthearted drama. It's not impacting her as much as maybe you're making it mean. She's giving you this fun, like lighthearted drama of what's going on. She'll tell you if she needs you to fix the problem. She'll probably ask you, right? But try to feel into how she's feeling. And she's like, oh, this is what happened. And I'm like, oh shit, what? What do you mean? So, and then she's like, yeah, this is what happened, this fucking bitch. Like, like I was supposed to get cut by her. And then she's like, no, trust this bitch. And then I went, and then she fucked it up. And I was like, and I'm like, oh, fuck. No. And I wasn't making fun of it. I was feeling it. But when something happens to you and it's not super serious, but you need a moment to relieve yourself. So you kind of feel it, but it's kind of a joke, but you're kind of feeling it. It's just like, fuck, it's just like, let's say you spoke to someone who is super frustrating, but it's not a massive deal, but they were kind of frustrating. Then you're speaking to them, and then afterwards you're like, fucking hell, like, some people just don't fucking get it. And some of your friends like, hey, what happened? It's like, oh, this fucking guy said this and this. And then your friend's like, hey, well, next time, what you need to do is call this number. It's just like, bro, you're missing the point. It's just an emotional release. So that's my second point, right? And you know what was great to finish that little scenario off. So I kind of just, I'm like, oh, fuck, like, I just participated in the drama in that I just enjoyed it, right? Like, and felt the pain, but didn't feel it too much. Just like, I felt the whole thing, which is, it's kind of shit, it's kind of funny, it is what it is, right? We've all had bad hair days, got it. Well, all good. All right. Well, look, you're good. Like, how can I help you? And she's like, look, I'm going to be a bit late. And I said, hey, listen, don't worry about that. You did the right thing by calling me. Thank you for calling me. Everything's gonna be all right. Everything is gonna be all right. And she's laughing. And what I just did then was that's some Machiavellian pimp shit. What I'm trying to describe to you, right? Right? Because she's called me in her feels, and if I had taken that and went all analysis mode, it would have fucked it right up. If I had got upset that she was going to be late, it would have fucked it right up, right? She's doing the right thing by calling me. I appreciate it. I danced with her. I had fun. It was funny. Hey, look, thanks for letting me know. You're gonna be all good. That's fine. And then I don't think she was even late in the end. She got there. I think I chilled, and then she kind of got there before me. So remember this, right? Like, there's a control muscle and a release muscle, right? Men typically, or masculine people typically, are trying to control everything, right? But when you're trying to control everything all the time, and you're just like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, you can do it. But after a while, and it's good because it helps you just cut the bullshit and get to some results. But you swing the pendulum too far that way, you lose out on just the joy and the color and the fulfillment of life. And life becomes very black and white. And I don't think you want your whole life to be black and white. I think you like variety, and you like color, and you like fulfillment. And that is the feminine side. And what especially a feminine woman gives us is nurturing through her femininity, through this dance where it's not serious and you can relax, right? Control muscles, release muscles. And especially as a masculine man, which my guess is you probably are, our pendulum is probably swung more into the control muscles, and you actually get rejuvenated when you do some release muscles, and you release and you relax. It fills you with some energy. It's funny. And then you kind of fill up your energy again, and then you can go forth and crush it. So I definitely hope you enjoyed this discourse. If you found value in today's video, please do share it with someone who may find it interesting. The reason I say this is because I truly do believe in the future we are going to have a lot more of consciousness among men. We're going to have more conscious men who know how to healthily process their emotions, how to healthily navigate relationships better, how to know what their purpose is in life and feel fulfilled and out of their own way in their pursuit of it. I believe that in the future, men are going to be more empowered and fulfilled and more conscious. And I believe that it is discussions like this that will help create that future. And so if you would like to help create that future, please do share this with someone that you believe is interesting, and we can build a more conscious world together. So with that, if you'd like to connect with me, I would love to connect with you. My name is Dim Happer. You can find me on Instagram or in the links below. Thanks for watching along. We've got some awesome chapters coming up. So I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.